In this video, I'm going to talk about the number one mistake that a lot of people are making in the crypto markets right now. I see this all the time, and trust me, you want to avoid this at all costs because some people will lose everything. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what it is, how not to do it, and what you can do instead. I'm going to talk about this as a blockchain developer who works with this technology on a daily basis and also a cryptocurrency holder myself. So before we get into that, if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to become a blockchain master step-by-step, start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. And last but not least, I hate these disclaimers, but this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy or sell any cryptocurrency based on this information. And there's lots of people down in the comment section below impersonating me. They're all scammers. Just ignore them. I'll never give you my phone number or ask you to invest with me. So almost everybody buys cryptocurrency for one major reason: to make a lot of money really fast, much faster than they can do some other way. That's a pretty good reason. A lot of people have done that. And some people have different goals for doing this. Some people just want to pay off bad debts. Some people want to save up to buy a car or a house. Or some people have a much bigger goal of, retiring young so that they never have to work again or, make generational wealth. Now, I realize that some of you watching this channel who have been here for a while have made absolutely insane amounts of money over the past year or so. We have people who are newly minted multimillionaires and beyond, but for the vast majority of people who aren't in this category or maybe have just been tuning into this space for the past few months, I want to talk about a big mistake that I see, playing out, especially in how they're thinking about this. So what's this one big mistake that I see people making all the time? All right, so whatever your financial goals are with crypto, like the ones I talked about a minute ago, the big mistake is that people are relying on cryptocurrency alone to carry them across the finish line or being their only hope at actually achieving these goals. Basically, they're just putting all their eggs into one basket, making crypto their only hope, and just hoping that it works out. So let me talk about why this is such a bad idea, especially if you're just getting into the space now. Well, first of all, I think we're kind of past the point of maximum financial opportunity if you're just getting into the space now. I still think there's ways to make a lot of good money, but a big mistake that people are going to make is they're going to put way too much money at a level like this when there's a lot of downside in terms of the risk involved compared to the upside. And a lot of people are entering in just now are going to get subjected to volatility, and when the price drops, they might have weak hands, sell when these dips happen. Even if the price continues to go up after that, they just get scared, can't handle the volatility, lose the money, and then just leave the space entirely, or they try to actively trade and lose money that way. Don't forget, trading is such a full-time activity. It's like a job, but a job that you can lose money at. And another big reason why this is not a great strategy, putting all your eggs in this basket and hoping this is going to solve all your problems, is that the market is really completely out of your control. You're just putting money in there and you're just going to get kind of lucky if it goes up. You really don't have any influence over it. So now I'll pause right now and say, I'm not saying it's bad to hold crypto. Of course, I do it. But if you're treating it like it's your only hope, then it's incredibly risky, and I want to offer you an alternative instead. So what can you do instead? Well, think about all the goals that you're trying to achieve with crypto, whatever your financial goals are. Like I said a minute ago, some people are trying to pay off debts. Some people are trying to buy a car, a house, retire young, maybe set up something for their kids. There's lots of different reasons, right? Well, you definitely can do that with crypto, but what if you could increase the likelihood of those things actually happening by doing something that you actually do have a lot more control over? I've seen the phrase floating around online. I'm not sure who gets credit for this quote, but sort of like the best way to predict the future is actually to create it. And a lot of people talk about that, like being an entrepreneur and starting your own business. Not everybody wants to do that, but a lot of people can achieve their financial goals and make life-changing money by just getting a different job. And right now, there's an insane amount of opportunity happening in the blockchain industry. See, the demand for talent in this industry is incredibly high because so many companies are flocking into this space trying to build the next blockchain solution, and they all need to hire people. There's a huge talent shortage because hardly anybody understands the technology on the grand scheme of things compared to other, sectors of technology or just any other jobs out there. And so for that reason, there's a huge opportunity to become highly paid just because of limited, supply and demand economics. The supply is low and the demand is high, therefore the price of compensation goes up. And you don't have to just be a developer in order to capitalize on this. There's lots of different ways to work in the blockchain industry, but having an understanding of the technology itself, like what I teach you about on this channel, will give you a huge edge. So let's talk about how this works. So basically, you can achieve a lot of these financial goals by fixing your cash flow problem. So let's say that you buy a lot of cryptocurrency and went up in value. Well, there's a huge problem there. If you want it to actually tangibly affect your life, you have to do a couple things. You have to sell some of it and then take some of that money out. And that compromises your principal. You got to pay taxes on it. And sure, that money can benefit you in the short term, but then you miss out on the gain. But if you have a different source of income, which is, great cash flow, then that fixes that problem entirely. I mean, you could even use it to buy more cryptocurrency if you wanted to. And so let's think about another scenario here. Okay, so let's say you become incredibly successful in the cryptocurrency markets. Let's say you make $1 million and you actually sell it at the right time and realize that profit. Well, for one, you're going to have to pay taxes. And despite what you might think, if you're young, that's probably not enough for you to just sit back and retire for the rest of your life if you're also in America, like a lot of people are who are watching this YouTube channel, like I see in my YouTube analytics. So I can just tell you that from experience, all right, as somebody who's done it. I hope that it happens to you, but you're probably not just going to be set for life. And pretty much everybody I personally know who is retired young has gone back to work, but just something that they're interested in. And now also, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. Like I said, I hope everybody watching this channel has great success in the cryptocurrency markets, but I do want to get you thinking about the bigger picture here. Like, what if you actually achieve the goals that you're thinking about? Well, you may still have to think about your cash flow situation. And working in the blockchain industry is going to be a really good alternative for a lot of people who don't have the jobs that are producing the kind of cash flow that they want for the lifestyle that they want. So let's talk about some jobs that you can do inside the blockchain industry. So, of course, number one to me is being a blockchain developer. Of course, that's what I do. You could say I'm biased, but I think most people who would ask you would say, hey, yeah, that's a really great thing to do. And the good news is that's exactly what I teach you how to do on this YouTube channel. You know, you can go to my YouTube homepage. You can find any of my free courses there, like Udemy courses. You know, they're totally free. You can just get your hands dirty today, start learning the programming languages, see if that's something you'd like to do. So people ask me all the time, like, can you do this with no coding experience? So of course you can. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real world blockchain developers in a matter of months. Now, is that hard to do if you've never coded before? Of course it is. But you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? So everything I just talked about a minute ago, you know, making a life-changing income, you know, paying off those debts or, you know, getting a car or a house or, you know, making really great progress towards retirement. Would you put the hard work in if you knew those rewards were very realistic for you to attain by, you know, making a higher income? Well, that's the question you have to ask yourself. I mean, me personally, I would think that's worth it. I did think it was worth it. And that's what happened. So that's the exact thought process that went through my head when I was getting into this space. And I'm really glad that I got over that hurdle and have reaped the benefits of that. But let's just say you go down that road and you decide you don't want to be a developer. Well, first, think about it this way. The more you understand about the technology itself, the bigger asymmetric advantage you're going to have whenever you are trying to accomplish your goals in blockchain. Whether that's just investing, the more you learn about the technology, you will be a better investor. I saw the video from Mark Cuban talking about how he was learning Solidity, how to code smart contracts so he could actually understand the technology better, and that helped him make better investment decisions. So if you want to take advice from me on that, at least take advice from a billionaire. So that's the first thing. Even if you don't make coding your career, still some understanding of the technology is going to give you a huge edge no matter what you're trying to do. So you can do other jobs like becoming a designer, becoming, you know, just a regular web developer or a mobile developer who isn't working directly with the blockchain but understands how it works. You can do basically any other job that exists at a startup. Anything related to do with marketing, you know, copywriting, paid traffic, all that kind of stuff. Anything where you're providing a lot of value to the business, where an understanding of blockchain will greatly increase your value proposition, that's what you want to look for. And developer is my number one pick, but if that's not for you, then there's lots of other options on the table, but having that technical understanding will give you a huge edge. And lots of these careers are high paying compared to other fields in tech and also compared to other jobs if you're not working in tech right now at all. And so there's some different ways that you can achieve your financial goals by fixing your cash flow problem, by actually, you know, making a life-changing amount of money just by changing your job and jumping into a career that has a ton of upside, a lot of growth potential. We're still in the early phase. There's a ton of demand for people who know this stuff. So, you know, that's my advice for a lot of other people. This is a much safer bet than just like putting all your eggs in the cryptocurrency basket and hoping that it works out, because you have a lot more influence over your career. You have a lot more control over your own actions and have a lot more responsibility for your own success in that case. And so again, I'll be totally clear. I'm not saying don't invest in cryptocurrency. I'm also not saying to invest in cryptocurrency because it's not financial advice, but you can look at my own actions. I mean, I do hold cryptocurrency. I'm a big believer in it for the long term, but I've also focused on this really lucrative skill set in addition to that for all the reasons that I've talked about in this video. And I don't personally rely on cryptocurrency gains to be my only hope for my financial future. I've diversified into lots of other things. I even invest in things outside of cryptocurrency like real estate, for example. But I do want people to be careful, not put all their eggs in this basket, because some people will net lose money. And I want to set you up for success with a different plan that can really increase the likelihood that you'll be successful long term, because that's key. All right, so that's all I got for today. As always, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to this this channel if you haven't already. That really helps his videos out so the more people can learn about blockchain. If you want to get started today doing exactly what I'm talking about, then how can you do that? You go to my YouTube homepage. You can find any of my free courses there. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. If you like those, you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a massive shortcut entirely. Actually, I become a blockchain master step-by-step, start to finish, over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. Again, I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. Until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.